AV in your ears, that's ambush being giving you this audio visual down the most interesting street in the world. With my voice, Steve, Fascination Street. You already know, let's get it when you whip in the Fascination Street.
Hey, this is Paul Feig, and you're listening to Fascination Street Podcast. This podcast is always good, never evil.
Yeah, AV in your ears, that's ambush being giving you this audio visual down the most interesting street in the world. With my voice, Steve, Fascination Street. You already know, let's get it when you whip in the Fascination Street. What do you...
Welcome back, Streetwalkers. This episode is with actor Chris Maher. In this episode, we get to know Chris and how he grew up, where he grew up, and the long road that it took for him to finally decide on a career, and that career is in the film and television industry. He has acted in a whole bunch of stuff. He has a whole bunch more stuff coming out. We run down the list towards the end there. He's got 8 projects that are either in pre-production or post-production. So he's got a bunch of things happening. He has a film called Boardwalk Winter that is coming out in March. We do talk a little bit about that because the film is premiering in Virginia Beach in February, like a week from when we're recording this. We talk about some of his friends and previous co-stars who happen to be previous guests of this show. And God love him, poor Chris. This was his first ever podcast, and I derailed it every step of the way. I barely let this poor dude finish the sentence. So my apologies to Chris and I guess to you, the listener, because I had a fire in my tum-tum, I guess. Anyway, this episode is with Chris Maher. He is a delight to go see him in everything. He is super nice. And ladies, you're not going to be mad at the way this fella looks. And this is my conversation with actor and producer Chris Maher.
Prepare to be fascinated. Prepare to be fascinated. Prepare to be fascinated.
Welcome to Fascination Street Podcast, Chris Maher. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, Steve. How are you?
I cannot complain. Chris, this is going to sound weird. You're not the first Chris Maher I've had on this show.
That's wild. I don't know many.
His name, he goes by Christopher, and he pronounced it Maher, but it's spelled the same, and it's also Chris. But unlike you, his middle name was Frederick, so it worked. No, wait a minute.
That's my middle name.
Oh, Chris Fred. Okay, so I don't know what that guy's middle name is because it does not matter. Now, what I like to do, man, is I like to get to know the guests from the beginning. It helps us understand how the guests got from where they were to where they are. So where were you born and raised, man? Where'd you grow up?
I was born in Omaha, Nebraska, and grew up in Council Bluffs, Iowa. It's like 10 minutes apart. Grew up my whole life in Council Bluffs, this small little town, and actually just moved back. So I'm here in Council Bluffs, Iowa again. But
Oh,
before
they have the
that,
internet there?
it's crazy, you know? It's wild.
Okay, guys, if we get shut off, like if we lose Chris, it's because his internet sucks, not mine. Now, so why did you move back? And who's we?
Before this, I was living all over the place in Chicago, Miami, LA, and
Homeless.
abroad forever, and being homeless, a homeless guy
That's cool. Yeah.
for a long time. But I just moved back here with my girlfriend, right in my neighborhood that I grew up to be around with my family. My parents are getting elderly, so it's important to be there for them as they need.
Well, you are a sweetheart.
They helped me out as a kid, so.
Oh, they did. Well, that's so what was the plan, dude? What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be an actor.
Nobody in Council Bluffs, Iowa says, I want to be an actor. Nobody says that. So what did you really want to be? A farmer? Was it farming? Come on, was it farming?
No, I want to be a farmer now. Now I'm like, ooh, we should get chickens. We should grow some of this and that out there, or gardener, whatever you want to call it. But before I wanted to be an actor as a little kid, I wanted to be a veterinarian. And then I found out what that entails and how tough that might be sometimes.
Yeah, I've seen those vets. They stick all the way up to the elbow up a horse's butt. No thanks.
You know, that's not the worst part of the job. I was more, I realized they had to put dogs down and things. And I was like, I couldn't I couldn't do it.
Huh. Maybe I should be a vet. That sounds awesome. I'm just kidding.
And we're done here. Okay.
Shortest episode ever.
Yeah.
So you wanted to be a vet, and then you were like, that is some cool things and some not cool things. So I'll be a farmer. No, wait for it. I'm going to play one on TV. Have you played a farmer on TV yet or in a movie?
I did book a commercial 2 years ago where I was like acting like a farmer type thing. And I got to roll a giant hay bale down this huge hill out here in Iowa. It was pretty cool. I liked that.
It was in Iowa?
It was in Iowa. Crazy.
What was
right?
the commercial for? And if you say, hey,
I forgot what the commercial was for, to be honest. It's like a USDA something. Maybe. I'm horrible.
no, that's cool.
But before all that stuff, no, when I was a kid, back to the thing of what I wanted to do would be I got on stage for some of the school plays and was in the choir and did a lot of that.
Oh, you were in the choir?
Yeah, I was doing choir stuff, singing choir. It was okay. I'm not like a great singer or anything.
You must be a great singer because a little birdie told me that you traveled the world singing. I heard you even sang in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, that is true. That happened.
And hit it.
I can't. I'm horrible. That was 20 years ago, man. I'm an old guy now.
Okay, so all of those things you failed miserably at being a vet and being a farmer. And according to you, you're a terrible singer, even though it took you around the world, which is a weird thing to say. So you did a play or some plays in school, and that's what gave you the bug?
Absolutely. I got to do, stage plays. I was in the plays in, elementary school to junior high. And then I got involved super in all of them from, being on the stage to behind the stage, from the lights to the acting on stage. And it was my life.
Why did you do all the other stuff? Why did you do the lights and and whatnot? How come?
I was a nerdy little kid at the time.
You just wanted to learn it all, or?
Wanted to learn it all, but also they just kind of made me. They're like, oh, you want to do stuff? Get in here, boy. There was an interesting time learning the lights where in my high school, they had a really large, amazing auditorium.
It's legendary. Council Bluffs, Iowa. It's legendary.
The Blue Rangers from here.
The Blue Ranger? Really?
The original Blue Ranger from Power Rangers.
The red one is from San Antonio.
Really?
I went to high school with him.
Okay.
I think it's the red one.
Yeah.
Quick story that doesn't matter at all. A long time ago, like 1990, let's go with 4, I traveled to Iowa. It doesn't matter what for.
Never does.
But it was Burlington.
Burlington?
Yeah, Burlington,
Okay.
Iowa. Yeah, it used to be the capital, but it's not. So I went to Burlington, Iowa. Blah, blah, blah. Long story, slightly less long. Car broke down. We had to stay there for a while. And my son was like 2 at the time, and he was a huge Power Ranger fan. And there was, I don't know if it was an autograph signing or just an appearance, but it was the White Power Ranger. And I was like, I don't know if you can say White Power Ranger
Depends on
in the
the
Midwest.
space.
I don't think that's. Anyway, so I took my kid to see the White Power Ranger. No, the White Power Ranger. I took my kid to see the White Power Ranger in Iowa.
If you say it all at once, it's okay. The White Power Ranger.
Yeah, you got to say it real fast. Yeah. He's in his 30s and he still to this day does not remember any of it. So it was worth it. It was well worth it.
Hey, as long as you had a good time.
But as long as I keep telling that story, he'll believe that I actually did it, right?
Sure. If you have pictures to prove it, you could be like, hey, check it out.
Oh.
You were there.
There was no social media back then. Oh, well, that's my
Cameras,
excuse.
film.
No, so that was the what now?
Yeah. Film.
Bro, I told you my car broke down. You think I could afford a camera back then? Come on. That's kind of the only time I've been to Iowa was just that one time that lasted way too long. No offense to Iowa, but it wasn't part of the plan.
Hey, it's all right. That's the opposite side of Iowa for me. So they're not as cool. That's where, breaking down happens
You're not wrong.
mentally and emotionally too. Sometimes.
Oh, you are definitely not wrong. We went down that road because of the Power Rangers. So which one did you say was from where you are? The blue one?
The original Blue Ranger is from Council Bluffs, Iowa here. Billy.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah.
Cool.
The nerdy one. I'm pretty sure he's from here.
Pretty sure it was the red Power Ranger. He went to high school with me, but I didn't know him. I mean,
Hey, that's pretty cool too. It's like a little claim to fame. That's fun.
for him, yeah. Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grew up being a huge Power Ranger fan. So wait, aren't you too young to have been an original Power Rangers fan?
Yeah. Wait, no.
What?
To be an original fan? No, they were around right when I was like in elementary school.
Oh, so you are my kid's age. Great.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
no, you're not that. I would have said you would have been just about the same age as me. Am I wrong? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, not only is he this good looking, but he's also a great liar. So, Chris, you're doing all these plays and whatnot, and then you're like, you know what? I want to do this. What was the first step? I mean, no dig on Council Bluffs, Iowa. I know I've been making fun of them, but that's not really where you start your successful acting career. So what was the next step?
So the next step was what? I went off to college. I went to University of Iowa, and I started the program there. They weren't too nice to me there.
University of Iowa. Is that the site? No, that's not the Cyclones.
The Hawkeyes.
The Hawkeyes. Okay, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies.
You're all right. I mean, it's fine. We just have like an ultimate team rivalry against
just
the
a
Cyclones.
huge rivalry. No, it's cool,
Huge,
Steve. It's cool.
no big deal.
It's the Sharks and the Jets. Oh my gosh. You're the Blue Ranger and I was the Red Ranger. It's blood in, blood out or whatever.
You're even wearing the red. I'm wearing like a blue-ish.
Yeah, see? Yeah, there we
blue
go.
green.
Okay, so you went to school and then
I went to University of Iowa, started studying acting there a little bit. It wasn't for me there, we'll just say. Ended up studying and working in economics and finance and traveling the world for that.
well, hold on. You traveled the world for economics and finance? What does that mean?
So after college, I got a scholarship, a full ride scholarship to actually study in China. 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 It was a great time.
Wait, so after you graduated, you already had your degree. What was there left to study? Like a degree means you already know everything in that field. So what was there left to study?
The more I learned that I don't know anything. That's what you learn.
How long were you in China?
I was there for half a year studying and working out there. I was working, teaching English on the weekends. Meanwhile, I was studying economics and Chinese and working in a finance firm in Shanghai. And then on the weekends or during the other parts of the week, I would be studying and working outside.
Did you speak Chinese before you went there?
Not at all.
Do you speak Chinese now?
我不知道.
Oh, you broke up. It sounded like you said, boo.
我不知道.
That's what I said.
我会中文不好. 我的中文是不好.
Mei Mei? All I got is Mei Mei. That means sister, right?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Sure. Okay, so why did you pick China or did they pick you? What, like, that just seems weird.
Well, it was a little bit of both. I just submitted to some, like study abroad contests with some essays. I don't know. I accidentally, and then people liked what I said.
So you wrote an essay about math?
I wrote an essay about, I don't even remember what. I was in Greece at the time that I wrote the essay, just like, doop-a-doo.
Oh my God, dude. Where haven't you been?
I've never been to South America, interestingly enough.
Well, come on down. The water is fine.
I live in Miami half the time, so that's practically South America. Yeah, so I have a place in Miami where I also live part-time.
Wow. Bienvenidos, my friend.
Bienvenidos, amigo. See.
Okay, so you go to China because acting, let's just say it wasn't for you, or they weren't for you, or you weren't for them. We'll call it mutual.
I wasn't for them.
So then you're like, you know what? Acting's cool and all, but I'm going to go to China. So then you're in China for 6 months?
5.5 months to be exact, or 5 months. I don't know.
What was your favorite thing to eat in China? Was it KFC?
KFC is actually pretty legit out there. It's different. It's very good.
Yeah, because they don't let you put all this garbage in the food there.
I don't know about that. You got to be careful there. If it's like regulated food, then it's okay and good. But other foods, some of the stuff that they do is, I don't know, they'll like use recycled oils and take it back and refine it and use that again in the food. So you got to be careful.
Like motor oil? That's cool.
If it's refined right, then you're fine. You're fine.
Fine is right in the. It's right in the word refined. It's fine.
Sure.
We're on the journey trying to get to LA, I guess. Did we ever get to LA?
Briefly,
We just shoot a bunch of commercials in Iowa for hay.
lots of commercials all over. But yeah, so after China, what happened is I came back and I was starting to study for law school.
Dude, pick a career already.
Right. I was the early 20s, so I didn't know what I was doing with my life.
Why law school? Were you just like, okay, finance is not for me?
As an economist, my track was going into pre-law and policy. I particularly like policy, so studying economics, policy, pre-law track, and French. And the reason why I said French was because I wanted to be a diplomat. I was like, well, if I can't act, or if I'm not going to be good in the acting program here, then I'll learn French and economics and policy and make a difference in the world.
How come you didn't just switch schools and go to a different, better, nicer acting program?
I didn't know what I was doing. I was there. I was close to home. It was cheaper as far as top universities go, especially for in-state.
Top, I mean, next to that other one, the Cyclones, right? I mean,
And we're done here.
So you come back and you're like, I'm going to study the law.
Yeah, I came back, started studying for the LSAT. And meanwhile, an old friend of mine from high school hit me up, said, hey, I've got this modeling job or like a model runway thing that I'm doing here in Omaha. And it goes to benefit the zoo and help the lemurs. So we have actually one of the top zoos in the world in Omaha over here called the Omaha Henry Dorley Zoo. Pretty amazing. It's huge. We have a whole jungle.
It's world famous. It's like the auditorium in Council Bluffs High School.
Absolutely. World famous.
Legendary.
Legendary.
Just so that I'm clear, in this trajectory where you're just flitting all over the world, learning all these crazy skills, just out of nowhere, your buddy calls and it's like, hey, you still really good looking? Let's go do some runway modeling to help the lemurs. Am I right? I mean, do we got it so far?
Basically, well, they were like, hey, we're having the audition. Come audition, do the walk on the catwalk back when I was sexier and prettier and younger.
Sure.
And then I got it. And then they were like, hey, you weren't terrible. Come get on, like, we're going to make this TV segments about it. You're going to get all these professional photos for it. It's going to be great. And then I did. And that kind of reminded me, I was like, hey, I forgot that I really like being on stage and really like doing this sort of stuff with the modeling. And it was very similar to the acting in those respects.
Had you modeled before that?
No, that was my first time modeling. Was for the lemurs.
For the lemurs. This one's for the lemurs, kids.
To help the lemurs in Madagascar.
Okay. Because, I mean, where else would they be? It's not the lemurs of South Texas. I mean, take it easy, bro.
No lemurs that I know of in South Texas.
So you're on stage supporting the lemurs, and you're getting, I guess, some publicity with the TV and with the photo campaign and whatnot. And then you were like, you know what? The law is not going anywhere. This is super cool.
Sure.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah. So I started doing that. I took my LSAT. I scored really high. Actually got some pretty decent offers from colleges for that.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks. And then at the time I was dating a girl who was a lawyer. She'd just become a lawyer. And I was like, maybe I don't need to do that right now. I was like, I can go back to do that. I'm going to be pretty and young for a while.
You looked at her and you're like, you make the law look really hard. I'm just going to go be pretty for a while.
That's the whole thing.
I get it. No, I get it.
But I was like, yeah, I'm going to be young and dumb and, look like this only for a short amount of time. I can go to law school later on in life when I'm more settled and
I'll go to law school when I'm ugly.
Yeah, I'll go to school when I'm like when I'm, whatever, when I want to. And so I just started going down. I moved out to Chicago with that gal at the time
because that's where she was going to practice law. Like she got a job and that's why you went.
Yeah, she was practicing law out there. Met those people, worked with them. And I ended up getting a job working trading at the Financial Board of Trade area in Chicago, with the finance district down there.
Like on Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yeah, same place.
Where they go down to the floor and they're doing all the hand signals and making weird... Really? So you were on the floor?
Yeah, I wasn't one of those guys because it was all pretty much automated on computer anyway.
But you worked at the Chicago Stock Exchange or whatever it's called?
It wasn't there. I was right next door to it. And it's just, I was at a trading firm.
It's Subway. You were making sandwiches next door.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Automated sandwiches.
Am I ever going to let you
Yeah.
finish the story? Jesus. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
You said, hey, I'm just going to be pretty. And then she's like, cool, let's go to Chicago. And you go, great. I'm going to act like a stockbroker. Like I don't.
It was like my little thing. And then meanwhile, I started getting into the modeling and even some acting there. I started getting with like agencies and getting photos left and right. And I was like, hey, I could just trade and invest from home. Meanwhile, do the modeling, acting, doing all that stuff, and started slowly building my book, slowly building my career out there. And then from there, went to Miami for some reason. I don't know.
You don't know why you went to Miami?
I got with an agency in Miami, a modeling agency, and he was like, come down here, come to Miami, come be here. I was like, well, Miami's way warmer than Chicago. So, okay. So I decided to go there and then live half time in Chicago. So I was doing Miami, Chicago, was working and living in Miami for a good amount of time. Been there for like 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Meanwhile, I was living half Chicago, half Miami. And then I left my place in Chicago and I go there for work at times when I'm booked for commercials or shoots, whatever.
So is that where you do most of your on-camera work, is in the Chicago area?
No, I was doing a lot for a while, a lot of it there for a while. It primarily happens more in the summertime. Miami is a good place as well for commercials, but a lot of my on-camera for movies and TV has been everywhere but Miami or Chicago, interestingly.
Yeah, I feel like they're like, hey, where do you live? Cool. We're not going to shoot there.
Yeah, basically. I film everywhere that I don't live, like Las Vegas or New Mexico or even Hawaii recently.
What did you film in New Mexico?
I shot 2 movies. Canyon of the Dead was one of them. That's starring Tom Felton,
Oh, okay.
Wes Studi, Abigail Breslin.
Wait, Tom Felton, is that Draco Malfoy?
You got it. Yeah.
Really? And that's coming out or it's out?
Yeah, we're in the process of getting it sold at the moment.
Oh, post-production. Okay.
Yeah, we just finished post-production and now it's being sold. I can't talk too much about it yet.
Okay.
But a lot of great things are happening for this film. But a lot of big names, awesome people to work with.
Is he the lead? Oh, no, you're the lead, right?
He's one of the extras. No, he's the main guy. Or his character in the movie is who Indiana Jones is based on, but in real life. It's a historical drama based on one of the first female archaeologists who discovered the first nation of America, the Anasazi population. And they discovered that out there in New Mexico, Arizona area, interestingly. So it's a period piece based in the 20s. And his character is the guy that they based Indiana Jones's character off of. His name is Earl Morris. Real guy.
Well, that's pretty dope, man. How long did you shoot, you personally?
I don't remember. We started filming that in 2020 during the crazy COVID time.
Oh, wow.
We were shooting in New Mexico. We were shooting in Arizona. And then we even shot in London.
Where in New Mexico?
Out there was the Canyon de Chelly, Canyon de El Muerto area. We were shooting out by Gallup, New Mexico, a very small town. We were shooting with and working with the Navajo Nation, actually. So the president of the Navajo Nation is even in our film, which is really cool.
Wow.
And we incorporated a lot of Native American stories because it's based around, the discovery of the Anasazi, of the First Nations people. Very cool stuff.
That's rad. I had a previous guest. He was, and I guess still is, the chief of the Choctaw Nation.
That's pretty cool.
I had him on my show a while back. Yeah, super sick.
Okay.
I didn't mean to spend so much time on Canyon of the Dead, but I'm glad we did. So that's coming. Everybody, it's going to be called that when it comes out. Like, as far as you know, they're not changing the name.
That's the working. We may change it, but that's our current title. But right now it's being sold, so I can't talk too much about it.
I got you.
Even though I just went on talking about it.
Sure. Everybody keep your eyes peeled for Canyon of the Dead, starring Chris Maher, and I guess Tom Felton's in it too. Wow, dude, that's sick. Let's talk the jump from modeling and commercials to television and film.
Sure.
Have you done any TV, or is it all film?
I've done TV. I just shot, it just came out. It was Rescue Hawaii Surf. I had a pretty cool episode in that. It shoots out in Hawaii. Was really cool. I was just being a dumb dad, negligent dad in the episode. start the episode out.
You played me. That's awesome.
Oh, no.
It's called Rescue?
That one is Rescue Hawaii Surf. It's on Fox.
Rescue Hawaii Surf. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, right.
I'm episode 6, if you guys see that one. We're out there all on the beach. Most beautiful place I've ever shot.
Really?
It was fun.
Even prettier than Gallup, New Mexico?
It was beautiful out there, I will say, with all the canyons and the desert.
I guess I was going to get to it later, but Canyon of the Dead is one of the 8 projects that you have that are still about to be released.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of stuff. Let's talk about them.
I don't know what's about to be released. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'll tell you. I was talking to the president of Hollywood.
The president of Hollywood.
Yeah, and it goes like this. Desert Dawn.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a thing that's coming out, right?
That is coming out. This is true.
What is it?
Desert Dawn. We have a date for that sometime, a release date very soon.
I'm so sorry. It's 9 upcoming projects. Jesus.
I didn't realize that. I didn't even know that.
That's okay.
I just kind of filmed something and then years later it's out. A year or 2 later.
Okay, so Desert Dawn.
Yeah, we shot Desert Dawn a year ago, so it takes a lot of time to edit and get it out there. I haven't seen it yet.
But is it a film? Is it a short film? Is it a TV? What is it?
It is a film. It's a movie starring
Chris Maher,
Chris Maher, Kellen Lutz, and Cam Gigante. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's pretty cool. It's a small town sheriff gets back and gets tangled up in a web of lies and corruption involving a businessman and the cartel.
Don't we all?
Surrounding the murder of a mysterious woman and man.
Good Lord. Murder. Okay, what is FTX Descent into Madness?
That one is a funny one. Do you know about the FTX crypto scam with Sam Bankman-Fried?
Yeah. Hold on, let me guess. You play Tom Brady.
Oh my God, how'd you know?
It's the looks. It's the face.
No.
Okay, so this is a film?
Yes.
An actual film? Is this a made-for-TV movie? What is this? Is this a film?
It is an actual film. I'm not sure when it's coming out yet, to be honest with you, but it'll be out this year. Maybe some theaters. I'm not exactly sure which theaters, but definitely to streaming. It will be on streaming.
Besides Chris Maher, who else is in it?
Ooh, there's a few people, pretty cool people. Adam Crane, Armando Gutierrez. He was just Bezos. He played the lead guy in Bezos, the movie.
Armando is sick. That dude's rad as hell.
Yeah, he was in the movie Bezos, which is about Jeffrey Bezos and Amazon, and it's also starring Cassie Brown.
Oh, snap.
Who's a cool, I've worked with her before, and she's a fun character. They're hilarious in the movie. Some of the best, funniest stuff you could ask for.
Moving down in our list of upcoming a million things.
Yes.
Division.
Division is a short film.
About math.
Division, yes. It's a short film that was completed a while back, and it's a story about an interracial couple who find themselves long distance, even though they live in the same city. So I don't know if you've experienced yourself, maybe years ago, if you were dating back in the day. I think it's something that happens today. If you live in a city, it's hard to get from one side to the other.
Depending on the city, yeah, that makes sense. So it's a big city like New York or LA or something?
Yeah, New York, LA, or in this case, it was Chicago.
Okay.
You live close in the same town, in the same city, but it feels long distance because, I've got work today, work there. I've got this event that I have to be at. I only have time on Tuesday.
Yeah, particularly nowadays when everybody's got so many jobs and so many different. Because, back in the day, you had one job, you went there, you worked at the factory from 8 to 5 or whatever. But now everybody has jobs that last all day long and multiple days, and everybody's got a side hustle or multiple. So that makes sense.
Living ain't easy.
It's not. So that hasn't come out yet, though, right? It's been completed. It's just not released yet.
That was completed, and I think it will be released here very shortly, very soon on streaming platforms.
How does a release for a short film go?
I think it's just a small independent release and distribution companies that will do that, and they'll have it on their board, something you can watch. I know there's Shorts TV. I don't know if this will be on Shorts TV. There's some ways to get it out there.
Nice.
Yes.
Boardwalk Winter.
Boardwalk Winter. That's what I'm excited for. We actually have the red carpet premiere for that in 1 week in Virginia Beach.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought that the name of that was Virginia Beach.
No, no. Boardwalk Winter. That's the one we're doing, and we shot that in Virginia Beach.
Is that the one with Victoria Jackson?
That's the one with Victoria Jackson.
That is fantastic. I love that so much that it's not called Virginia Beach. I love that. Okay. So let's talk about Boardwalk Winter. And FYI, nobody knows or cares, but Victoria Jackson is in my all-time favorite movie ever, which nobody cares about at all. But it does star one of your friends, who is also a previous guest of the show. I believe you're friends with the great William McNamara.
Yeah, I know William.
Billy, you know Billy? Billy Mack?
Yeah, we did Mojave Diamonds together.
Oh, okay, great.
He was in that.
Love that guy.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what was the film?
A little known film, best film ever, in my opinion. It stars the great William McNamara, the great Victoria Jackson. It also stars Harry Dean Stanton, Jason Robards, Piper Laurie, Meredith Salinger, who's now married to Patton Oswalt,
Okay.
and also Corey Haim and Corey Feldman.
Okay. What's the couple?
It's called Dream a Little Dream. It's called Dream a Little Dream, and it's one of those body switch movies that were popular back in the late 80s.
Dream a little dream for me.
Of me, yeah.
Of me? Is that the song?
Yeah, of me. Yeah, it is my favorite movie of all time. I know that it's a silly goofball movie, but I just love it so much. It hit me that perfect right time in my life, you know? So it was a great, great thrill to get to have William McNamara on my show.
That's so cool.
I don't know if you know this, but he just got an award from the city of Santa Monica.
Was it for helping out with the fires or something? Or
Yeah, for rescuing animals and whatnot.
yeah, he was in it.
He does it every single time there's a fire. He does it.
That's great. He's a hero.
He's the man, but he's going to get himself hurt because he does some pretty dangerous stuff. But we're not here to talk about him. We're here to talk about Rescue Hawaii Surf.
Rescue Hawaii.
Oh, no, wait.
Exactly.
Let's talk about Boardwalk Winter with the great Victoria Jackson
Mhm.
and the even greater Chris Maher.
I'm just a dude disguised as a dude playing another dude. No, Boardwalk Winter, we are having our big red carpet event for it next week in Virginia Beach.
Where's Virginia Beach?
Virginia Beach is in this state called Virginia, and it's right there on the beach.
Oh, it's on the beach. All right. Is there a boardwalk there?
There are a couple of boardwalk. Yeah.
Tell me about this film.
The film is starring Miss Amazing, Wonderful Natalie Veeder and myself. It's a film about a girl who discovers that she doesn't have a lot of time left to live. So she kind of creates and curates a little bucket list of things to do while she is there in Virginia Beach. She doesn't have a long time. She's there during the winter when it's nice and cold. You need sweaters, and she decides that one of the things she wants to do before she dies is to get married. And she makes it her goal to get married before she dies.
Am I going to cry at this movie?
No.
You son of a gun.
Yes. I don't know. It depends on if you have a heart or not.
Nice. Does it go without saying that you play one of the sweaters?
I am a sweater,
Cool.
a wool sweater, nice and fuzzy, but it's a bit prickly.
Oh, the best kind, dude. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Do you know, is it going to be in films? In theaters, is it going to be streaming?
We're going to have theaters select cities. We haven't decided which cities yet.
Oh, cool.
And I believe an official release date, I think we're looking at late March for the official theatrical release.
Okay.
And we'll post all the dates and all the places that it'll be out in theaters.
This is going to sound really stupid, and I apologize. Have you been to a film premiere before?
I have been to quite a few. They're fun. Have you?
Aren't they like a blasty blast?
They are a blasty blast.
They are the most fun. Who directs this film?
This is directed by Jonathan Fox. He's straight out of the Navy. He's done a couple of films now. He made the short film for this originally 2 years prior, the short concept version. But he also made a couple of other movies called Job Hoppers and You Only Dreamed. And he just shot another one called Ice Bros, a fun comedy starring one of my best friends.
Which is?
My best friend growing up from here is named Nick Summers, and he has a little cameo in Boardwalk Winter.
Is Nick the friend who was like, "Hey, bro, you still modeling?
No.
Or do you want to model?" No, different friend. You got lots of friends, man. What's that like?
Oh, growing up in a small town, you can't avoid him.
Flashing back to you wanted to be a veterinarian for a hot second, and then now there's this project that you're in called No Dogs Die.
Yeah.
Is it a film? Is it a short film? What is No Dogs Die?
So we made the short film as a short film, the concept trailer for it to get a lot of attention.
Like they did with Sling Blade.
Yeah. And we're making the feature film of it. We're aiming to film in May of this year.
Where?
We're going to be filming around Nebraska and Iowa area.
Oh, cool. What time? Because I'm looking at my calendar right now. I don't have anything on. Like,
cool. Come on down.
are you a producer on this film?
I'll be producing on this film. I don't know if I'll be acting in this one, but it's with a good friend of mine, also named Chris Watson. He's the director and writer of it. And so he approached me with this film. I think we started talking about it 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
We made the short film version of it to get the feet wet. And it's been winning a lot of awards. And the screenplay for the feature is winning tons of awards, getting a lot of recognition because it's a fun, tongue-in-cheek slasher film about a guy, a serial killer who kills people who are, get this, he kills them if they're mean to dogs.
If they're mean to dogs?
Yeah, if they're bad dogs.
Oh, wait a minute. I saw this. It's called John Wick.
Yeah, it's the horror version of John Wick. But you see, that's what happens when you're mean to just one dog, when you're bad to one dog.
Ooh.
Now, this is just like dogs in general. Think about that.
Have you ever produced a film before?
Of course, yeah. I've been doing it for a while.
Oh, my apologies.
Oh, no apologies necessary. It's that economics background. You know?
There it is. Well, I asked because of the economics, but also because when you were in high school or whenever school, you were also doing a bunch of stuff, behind the stage or whatever. So I just figured you were probably drawn to the producing aspect as well. There's awards for screenplays.
Yeah.
Before a movie is made, there's awards for a screenplay. I had no idea.
Yeah. There are film festivals you can submit your screenplays to, and they'll say, yeah, that's bad. That's okay. Mediocre. Ooh, look at this one. We like this one. And so they'll give the awards, and a lot of times they'll give, grants or some sort of awards, or they'll link you with producers, or producers will look at them. A great way to get your screenplay out there. If any aspiring writers are listening, just get it out there to some of these festivals.
That's fantastic. I had no idea. That's amazing. Yeah. Tell me about Vindicator.
Ooh, Vindicator. That one.
See, you know all these things. You just didn't know it was 8. I said 9, but that's because I thought Boardwalk Winter was called Virginia Beach.
That's okay.
It's just 8, loser. You only have 8 projects about to come out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Been putting in the work last couple of years.
So Vindicator.
Back to the horror. There is a serial killer on the loose who kills somebody in every state of the U.S. based on their sins. There is a true crime podcast, 3 young college students who are following his crimes and talking about his crimes around the U.S. and how he has yet to be caught, even though he's been out there since 70s, 80s. So what they do is they have their last podcast in the last state where they expect he might strike again, only to find out that maybe he's striking again.
You can't spoil the movie.
It's a maybe. Maybe he strikes again.
Gotcha. He might strike again.
Maybe.
Oh, what kind of a loser. Oh, my God. I bet he would be so sad if he only got to 49 states and then he got caught. That would suck.
And then he was at the last one like, oh, darn.
Oh, dag-nabbit.
Dag-nabbit.
He's like, oh, I thought Puerto Rico was a state. Oh, I did it wrong.
Almost. Washington, D.C., does that count?
Hey, there's a project you have called Lost Keys. What's that?
Oh, the Lost Keys, yeah.
Oh, it's the Lost Keys. Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. The Lost Keys is currently in development.
Okay.
And it's looking to be a comedy sitcom style about a place in the Keys, like a down and out resort that needs to be refurbished, fixed up, and they got to make money again with their resort down there in the Keys.
Oh, cool. Did you watch Bad Monkey?
No, what is Bad Monkey?
Bad Monkey is on Apple TV or whatever. It came out, I don't know, like 3-4 months ago. It stars Vince Vaughn and Michelle Monaghan, and that's about it. But it takes place in the Keys. It's good stuff.
Oh no, I was just shooting in the Keys last week, and they actually were talking about that. Bad Monkey, yeah, starring Vince Vaughn and all that sort of stuff.
It's a lot of fun. You should check it out. Was that a clock or a girl you were looking at?
Somebody was out here walking by, Miss Natalie.
Miss Natalie.
Miss Natalie, yes.
Is that your lover, stalker, killer? Is a show that you did, is a movie you did for Netflix?
Yeah.
Is it a movie or a show?
How do you say it's like a docudrama film? It's a movie, but it's not fictional.
So this is a docudrama thing?
Docudrama, that's what I would call it. It's based on a true story of something horrible that actually happened here, or I should say there in Omaha, about a very interesting love triangle, a couple of crazy ladies. I can't give away too much, but it was a big story that knocked
Is it
the
out?
nation. Yeah, we actually hit #1 on Netflix for the week. It's cool. A lot of people liked it. It's a pretty gnarly story.
That sounds gnarly as hell if you're a bleeding heart. Tell me about Bleeding Heart or Bleeding Hearts.
Sure. Bleeding Heart is an emotional short film based on two pastors who are working in the church, a large church. It's kind of, I would call it like a PSA short film type deal, where these two guys they're good friends, and they have a little meeting, and one is having a very tough time in his life. On the outside, he's got a lot of great things going on for him. Beautiful wife, she's having another kid, and he is just running the biggest and best church in the area. But as we find out, he's having a really tough time internally, mentally and emotionally, and he doesn't know how to talk about it or get it out there. And that's something that the film kind of deals with that I think a lot of people can understand.
Yeah, that's got to be rough because parishioners, they go to that person if they're having issues and that person to talk to. And who does that person talk to? That makes sense.
Exactly. And it deals with a lot of that, how people might be in their lives, how they look from the outside, but might be having a total struggle on the inside.
I'm going to tell you why I said it the way I said it, where I said Bleeding Heart or Bleeding Hearts. You got a trophy, and on that trophy, it says both things. Up at the top, it says Bleeding Hearts, and then at the bottom, it says Bleeding Heart.
How did you know?
I can see it. I'm standing behind you. Do you see it at the top?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
See that?
It does. It's true. I didn't even notice that. Good job.
I'm standing right behind you.
Bleeding Hearts and Bleeding Heart.
Well, I am glad that I have forever ruined that piece of hardware for you.
Oh, that's okay. It just sits here and I stare at it every day.
I am so sorry. I really thought that you already knew about it or that it was part of a joke I was not in on. I'm so sorry.
I didn't even notice that. No sorry is necessary. I'm only just now seeing it.
I am a terrible person.
Bleeding Heart, Bleeding Heart. That's great.
Have you also worked with previous guests of the show, Sam Medina?
We haven't worked together. However, we have talked together about trying to make some stuff happen. Cool dude. He does a lot of really cool action stuff.
He's rad as hell. He does a lot of action stuff.
He's in it.
That guy is sick as hell.
He's kicking butt and he's doing some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I saw that he is a follower on your Instagram, and so I was like, hey, I wonder if they've worked together.
Yeah, that's cool. He's been on your show. That's cool.
No, gee, come on now.
You've had all the cool people.
I know you think you're the coolest, but you're only the second coolest person to be on the second coolest.
I'm the second coolest person on this Zoom right now.
Okay. All right. Just you and Paul Giamatti. I get it. That's cool. Chris, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Social media, you can find me, Chris Fredma, ChrisFredma. My first, middle, and last name, first part of them together. I thought it was clever. Apparently, it's challenging.
No way, dude. It's rad as hell. You have to be in the know. Only the cool kids get to follow you.
Only the cool ones can know.
Where else? Are you doing dances on TikTok and things? What else are you doing? You're not just on the Instagrams, are you?
No TikTok dances yet. We'll get there. Maybe one day. I don't know. I thought they were going to delete it. But now they're not. So maybe they are. Maybe I need to get on Red Note.
I don't even know what that is. Red Note? That's a thing? There's too many.
A Red Note. Yeah, it's like TikTok, but it's the Chinese own and run Red Note.
I thought that was called TikTok.
Yeah, but it's more Chinese and people went there.
Oh, Red Note is the one that everybody flocked to when they and then everybody in China was like, "What are y'all doing here? Who are
Yes.
y'all? Why are y'all here?" Okay, gotcha.
为什么你是这里啊?
I love that.
Why are you here?
I was gonna say the same thing.
Just translating for our friends in China, in Zhongguo.
The only Chinese that I know is actually Japanese. And I learned it from a commercial in the 80s. And it goes like this. Chinge wo Yiping Bud Light Long Neck.
There you go. That's all you need.
Yeah, if you like that crap beer, I mean, geez, I need to learn how to say some other kind of beer in English.
So if you're in Japan, get the Sapporo. There you go. Sapporo.
No way, man. I'm an Ichiban guy.
Ichiban. There you go.
Chris, before I let you excitedly hang up in my face because I have derailed this interview so terribly wrong.
Doing amazing, sweetie.
Oh, is there anything we didn't talk about or I didn't ask you about that you specifically wanted to talk about today? Like other than correcting me that it's not called Virginia Beach, it's just going to be premiering at Virginia Beach, the film Boardwalk Winter. Other than that, is there anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about today?
I guess we spoke about the things coming up. No Dogs Die, that feature in the future. And then we're working on another one to be shot later this year called Nova. We made a short film for that and it won lots of awards.
What's that one about? Is it a car?
Nova? It didn't do very well in South America because Nova means Nova. In Spanish, that means no go.
Oh, did you learn that in China?
I learned that one in Spanish class.
Oh, snaps.
Yeah, I used to know a lot of languages, but now just barely even English.
Barely hanging on.
Nova is about a guy who goes off to space in the past, a long time ago, to study an anomaly that's occurring in space that's interrupting with a lot of the force fields and the satellites and the ground communication. He goes up to study it, only to come back down what turns out to be 60 years later. And he has to deal with his lost life from the past, the days of the current.
Yeah, that's one of the most terrifying things about time travel for me is that everybody is not going to be here when I get back.
Yeah, it's wild. And so it's a matter of if he can get back or not, and if he wants to.
Did you say this is something that is y'all are working on or it's coming up?
We will be filming this toward the end of the year this year.
Where? Is it in May? Can I show up just unannounced again?
Sure, show up wherever. We'll be probably filming in September in probably Florida, as well as some here in Iowa for use of some of the land, aircrafts, and other things we've got going.
Is there a lot of filming in Iowa? You have mentioned filming things in Iowa several times.
Not much. There used to be. We used to have good tax credits here, but not anymore.
Maybe they'll come back.
Hopefully we can get them back. We can bring them back. Great place to film.
Make Iowa tax credits again.
Yeah.
Chris Maher. Everybody, go check him out on Instagram. Chris Fred Ma is his name on Instagram. Check him out. Chris, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day and your hectic filming everything and about to produce things and act in more things scheduled to hang out and let us get to know you a little bit better on Fascination Street, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Steve. It was great chatting with you and meeting you. And it's very fascinating on Fascination Street.
You're not wrong. Is this your first podcast?
Yeah, I think this is my first podcast.
How is it that you don't know?
You've been talking to me for the past hour. I don't know what I'm doing.
He's like, bro, you've been talking to me so long. Is this still that same first podcast?
Bro, you should have found out that I have no idea what I'm doing half the time. You knew that I had 8 things coming out. I don't know, man. I just show up. No, it's my first official podcast. Yeah.
None of them are ever going to be like this again. Chris, thank you so much, dude. You have a great rest of your week, man. And have fun in Virginia Beach next week, dude. That's going to be rad as hell.
Hey, brother, thanks. You're welcome to come on by if you feel like shooting over to Virginia Beach.
No, I'm good.
Nah, that's okay.
Oh, seriously, dude. Have a blast. I appreciate you, and have a great rest of your week, man.
Hey, you too. Have a good one. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Bye, buddy.
See ya.
Opening music is the song FSP Theme, written, performed, and provided by Ambush Vin. Closing music is from the song Say My Name off the 2021 album Underdog Anthems, used with permission from Jack's Hollow. If you like the show, tell a friend. Subscribe and rate and review the show on iTunes and wherever else you download podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All the episodes are available there as well. Check me out on Vero at Fascination Street Pod and TikTok at Fascination Street Pod. And again, thanks for listening.